Hey there. Let's talk about something that's been making headlines lately. Is Trump forcing a U.S. recession? Whether you're a fan or not, there's no denying that his economic policies are shaking things up. Some say he's playing economic chess, while others think he's just flipping the board over. Either way, your wallet could be caught in the crossfire. So, let's break it down. What's happening, why it matters, and most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself. And hey, if you don't want your bank account looking like a clearance sale, smash that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and let's dive in. The tariff tango. Why everything is getting more expensive. Let's start with tariffs. Trump has reignited his trade war strategy, hitting China, the European Union, and even allies like Japan and South Korea with heavy tariffs. According to Reuters, on April 2, 2025, he announced sweeping tariffs on goods from over 180 countries, ranging from 10% to 49%. He's calling it Liberation Day. But for businesses and consumers, it's starting to feel more like Inflation Day. Here's the thing about tariffs. They're basically taxes on imported goods. And guess who actually pays those taxes? Not the foreign countries. You do. Companies that import goods from overseas aren't just going to eat those costs. They'll pass them straight to you in the form of higher prices. Take the fashion industry. Vogue Business reports that these new tariffs have thrown clothing brands into total chaos. Many are facing price hikes so severe that they're either cutting jobs or passing the extra cost onto shoppers. So if you've been wondering why a pair of jeans suddenly costs as much as a car payment, now you know. Speaking of cars, if you're planning on buying one, brace yourself. Experts predict that Trump's auto tariffs could increase car prices by an average of $6,400. That's not just a slight bump. That's the difference between getting a new ride and sticking with your old clunker for a few more years. And it's not just luxury items. The cost of groceries, electronics, and everyday household items is going up too. If your Amazon cart total is looking scarier than usual, blame the tariffs. If this has been helpful so far, smash that like button harder than a CEO smashing the raise prices button. Because let's be honest, they're not paying these tariffs. We are. Are we heading for a recession? So, prices are rising, but does that mean we're actually heading toward a recession? Well, let's look at the numbers. Goldman Sachs recently raised the probability of a U.S. recession in the next 12 months to 35%, while J.P. Morgan puts it at 40%. Meanwhile, the OECD increased its U.S. inflation forecast for 2025 to 2.8%, up from a previous estimate of 2.1%. In simple terms, prices are rising faster than wages, and that's a problem. When people can't afford to spend as much, businesses start losing money. When businesses lose money, they cut jobs. When people lose jobs, they spend even less. It's a domino effect that can spiral into a full-blown recession. Think of it like this. Imagine you're balancing a stack of Jenga blocks labeled jobs, prices, investments, and spending. If one block starts wobbling, the whole tower starts to shake. And right now, it looks like someone just gave it a solid nudge. How a recession could impact you. Let's make this personal. If a recession hits, here's what you could experience. 1. Job uncertainty. Companies cutting costs may freeze hiring or start laying people off. If your job feels unstable, now's the time to start preparing. 2. Higher living costs. Everything from gas to groceries to rent could keep getting more expensive. 3. Tighter loan approvals. Banks get stingy during recessions, making it harder to get a mortgage or even a car loan. 4. Stock market volatility. If you have investments, expect them to go on a wild ride. Sounds stressful? It can be, but don't panic. There are ways to protect yourself. How to prepare for a possible recession. If you want to safeguard your finances before things get worse, here's what you can do. 1. Build your emergency fund. Try to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses. If a recession hits and you lose your job, this could be your financial life raft. 2. Cut unnecessary expenses. Take a hard look at your budget. Do you really need all those streaming services? Now might be the time to trim the fat. 3. Pay down debt. Credit card interest rates are brutal. If you can, pay down high-interest debt now before a recession makes things even tighter. 4. Invest smartly. If you're investing, don't panic and sell everything. Instead, focus on long-term strategies and diversify your portfolio. 5. Create additional income streams. A side hustle, freelance work, or even selling things you don't use anymore can give you a financial cushion. Most importantly, stay informed. The more you understand what's happening, the better prepared you'll be. Now here's the million-dollar question. Is Trump forcing a U.S. recession? Well, not on purpose. His goal with tariffs is to pressure other countries into giving the U.S. better trade deals. But the unintended consequences, higher prices, job uncertainty, and a shaky economy, could be pushing us closer to a downturn anyway. Some economists argue this is just a temporary adjustment period and that things will stabilize. Others, like Newsweek's economic analyst Gary Huffbauer, warn that if we do enter a recession in 2025, Trump's tariffs will be a major reason why. Regardless of where you stand politically, one thing is clear. The economy is shifting, and it's affecting real people. The best thing you can do? Prepare now. Stay smart with your money, and adapt to whatever comes next. So, is Trump pushing the U.S. into a recession? Maybe not intentionally, but his policies sure aren't helping. With tariffs making everything more expensive, the risk of a downturn growing, and inflation staying stubbornly high, now is the time to be proactive. Save where you can, invest wisely, and keep an eye on what's happening in the economy. And hey, don't let this stress you out too much. If all else fails, we can all start trading homemade bread and TikTok dance lessons for survival. What do you think? Are Trump's policies necessary for fixing trade? Or are they leading us straight into economic trouble? Feel free to comment below and let us know. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.